Hi, and welcome to East Carolina Roots. Well, this video is one that I decided to record because I'm actually working on something myself right now as far as some research. I have been so busy for the past, I don't know how many months now, and I have not had time for research. But a thought occurred to me as far as trying to solve a mystery. So I decided to chase down some leads as far as who owned land in a particular area at a particular time. And I thought, you know what, this is something that I know how to do, but a lot of people don't know how to do, and it is super powerful. This is more powerful than anything you'll find on Ancestry, and this is 100% free. So the first thing you're going to need is you need to set up a FamilySearch account if you don't already have one. So if you have a FamilySearch account, let's assume you already have one. I have links to each county already, like quick links on the East Carolina Roots website. In fact, I will go there real quick and show you what I'm talking about. Anytime you're over, on the East Carolina Roots site and you scroll down, in this sidebar, you'll see a button here that says FamilySearch Direct Links to Eastern North Carolina Counties. If you click on that, it's going to take you to a page with links to every county. Okay, so this is a shortcut to any of the counties that I'm getting ready to explain to you, because what I'm going to be explaining is how to find these county records, but then how to actually dig into them so that you're not overwhelmed, because they can be super overwhelming when you just go into them. So, and please forgive my dogs growling. They're growling at each other because they each have treats and they're guarding what they have. So anyway, okay. So as I said, I have links to the counties directly here. If, for instance, I'm going to be looking in Beaufort County, so I'm going to click on Beaufort County, and it's going to bring me to this list here. All right. This is a list of online resources that are available on the FamilySearch website 100% for free. If you haven't gone into this section of the site before, it's going to blow your mind. You're not going to believe that all this is available for free. And then the trick is just really learning how to navigate it. This is going to save you so much time when in the past you might have gone to visit a register of deeds, you might have gone to a courthouse or whatever, archives. So much of that information has been scanned in and it's available on here. The only thing is, you can't just typically search for a name and it's going to take you right to it. You're going to have to do a little bit of legwork first. Just in case you don't use the link on the East Carolina Roots page, I want to show you how you can get to this anytime. So if you go to the FamilySearch website anytime and you're on the website, if you come up to search and then you click on catalog, or let's say you're wanting to look for a county that's not in Eastern North Carolina. Let's say you're wanting to look in another state or another part of North Carolina that's not in that list. I'm going to search by place. And you're going to do this in reverse order from the way you would normally type it. So in this case, you're going to say North Carolina. And as I said, I'm going to be looking at Beaufort County. So I'm typing in Beaufort. It gives me two options. Well, I'm going to choose Beaufort because I don't want Carteret County, Beaufort Town. I want Beaufort County. So I'm going to click on that. And then down here, I'm going to click on online because I don't want to get tons of options for things that aren't available online. Right now, I just want to look at what's available for me to browse online. So click on search, and it's going to bring me to this page, which is the same page that is right here that was a direct link from here. But again, there's a limited number of counties here, so any county you want to find, you can find the way I just described. So what I want to look at is land records. And I hope that when I explain to you how to navigate this, it will make sense to you and you'll be able to apply this same strategy to any of these records. All right, so we see we have a whole lot of different categories here for content. As you can guess, I'm just going to click on land and property. And there are 13 items listed here. Now, each of these are its own category. All right. So there's a lot of them that are really specific, like deeds proven in court, 1802 to 1805, deeds, mortgages, and bills of sale, and then it's got a very specific range. We want something more general, or what I want is something more general. I'm not looking for patents, so that's not going to be it. I'm not looking for estate records right this minute, so that's not going to be it. Your basic register of deeds, indexed to real estate conveyances, and the deeds and mortgages are found on this link. This is for Beaufort County. Now you might think, well, why would I want to look up deeds on FamilySearch? Because the Register of Deeds I research has theirs online. Well, that's wonderful. Pitt County does, Craven County does. A lot of the counties do in fact have their deeds online, their Register of Deeds online, so you can do all of this on their website, and that's way easier. But in the case of Beaufort County, to my knowledge, at this time, they still have not scanned their deed books so that you can browse this online. So I'm going to click on this and show you what you would do. And this is exactly the same thing you would do if you went to the Register of Deeds or the Register of Deeds website. So you have your index to real estate grantors, all of them in alphabetical order. Okay. And then you have your index of grantees in alphabetical order. And you'll also notice the date ranges. So, you're going to look for what's appropriate based on what you're searching for. But then you come down farther and you're going to see the actual deed books. Again, this works exactly like it would if you went to the Register of Deeds in person, or if you went on a website for one of the Register of Deeds where they have them available for you to search online. So the first thing we're going to do is go to an index. So I want to look for I'm going to look up grantors C. I'm looking up the name Clark. The reason why I'm looking up the name Clark is because my ancestor Laban Morris on the 1860 census is living in Beaufort County after living all the rest of his life, at least that we have records for, in Craven County. But towards the end of his life, he's living in Chalkwinity, and he doesn't own any land there, but he's living next to some different people. And the one he's living next to, just above his entry on the census record, is Benjamin Clark, age 30. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to see who owns the land that Benjamin Clark owns and who owned it before, because I'm wondering if there's any connection to that land and some other people of interest that I have in Chalkwinity. So anyway, I'm in this particular index book for grantors, and you'll be able to see this is obviously shrunk down, really small, so it's hard to read, but you can zoom in and you can see right away. Well, you might not be able to see super easy, but right here, that's the letter C. Okay. I'm going to zoom back out because I recommend actually zooming out when you're just scanning through this stuff quickly, because that'll help you find what you're looking for faster. Usually on this, because it would have been typically researched like in archives or in a library or something where you've got microfiche or microfilm, they have these big cues to tell you, hey, you're getting ready to go into the next letter. So here is C. And then if I scroll down and scroll down and keep scrolling and keep scrolling, eventually I'm going to come to the letter D. Let's see how much farther I have to go to get there. Oh, there we go, D. And so here's D. And so this is what you're doing. You're looking for those big clues in the index. So in this case, I'm going to go back to the letter C because that's actually the one that I want. So I'm coming back up here to the top, and this is the letter C. I'm going to open this up full screen because that makes it a little easier, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see, and then I'm going to just click to the next page. And just like the deed indices in the Register of Deeds office, they have them here organized in little clusters of letters to help you more quickly find the surnames you're looking for. All right, so in this case, Clark is right here. It starts on page 89. So I'm actually going to go back to the full view like this. And then I'm going to go to page 89. And these index pages are one page at a time. The deed books are 2 pages at a time, but these are 1 page at a time. So right now we're on page 5, but we need to go 89 pages plus however many pages are in the index. So I'm just going to put in, say, page 90, okay? And plus in the index books, sometimes you'll have multiple pages with the same page number, but what you're looking at is up here, okay? So this is actually 88, so I'm actually pretty close. I'm just going to click over one. That might get me there. not quite. Still page 88. You see right here 88-6, 88-7, 88-8. So sometimes you just have to click through. And sometimes you'll especially with the deed books, the numbers and the page corners will be obscured. But I'll explain to you what to do if that happens. And I'm just clicking through until I get to page 89. So I'll start seeing those Clark records. Okay, here we go, Clark. All right, so first I just want to look and see if there are any deeds here that pique my interest, that have names that I am familiar with and that might help me in my search. None on this page. I'm looking for either Isaac or Benjamin. Okay, nothing so far. Not in the grantours anyway, because with these, as you know, your grantours are over on the left and your grantees are on the right. On the other hand, if this was a book about if this was the grantees, then the grantees would be on the left and the grantours would be on the right. Okay. So let me just scroll down and see if I see it in either column, and I don't. So let me jump ahead. All right. And I might not find anything in the grantours, but that's okay. I can still find one to show you an example of what I'm talking about as far as how you take this information and use it to find what you're looking for in a deed book. So Eliel Edwards, he's actually one of my ancestors, so I'm going to use this deed right here. So this is Osmond, which I think is probably Osborne Clark, to Eliel Edwards, and it's from 1816. It says this in Deed Book 11, page 276. All right. I'm going to come out of the full screen page view, and then I'm going to come back to that index. So that we need to remember it's book 11, page 276. So actually a lot of times what I will do is I will have one tab open with the index book, and then I'll have another tab open with just the list of available deed books. And the reason for that is because that way, if I need to reference back to the index book quickly, I can without having to get out of my tab. So I could just jump back over here if I wanted to look around some more in the index book. And then over here in this tab, I have the deed books. So let me look for deed book 11. Okay. This one's supposed to have 11. All right, so let me show you how this is going to work. So this one has multiple deed books in it. It said it had 9, and then it had 10 and 11, and I think it might have also said 13. But this card here says this is book 9, so that's not the one we want. So I'm going to zoom back out, and I'm going to look for the next one of those that should hopefully say 10, and then I'll look for another one that will say 11. And you see there's 741 pages, so that's a lot. And the number of pages on each row is 20 pages because each of these has 2 pages and there are 10 on each row, the way I have them zoomed out. But depending on how zoomed out they are, it might be more pages or less pages. So this is the end of volume 9. So I'm guessing that means that's the beginning of volume 10, even though there's not a big card in there to tell you. But there's always something to let you know when you're at the end of one volume and the beginning of another. What does that say? End of volume. Okay, that's 12. Okay, so this skipped right past 11, and there are some that have been like this, and I think it's because they either lost them or they misordered them. So let me go back and look at what page that was supposed to be. That was page 276. So I'm going to just check and see, just on the off chance that what's here is actually like a combined 10 and 11, because that might actually be the case. So let me come back up to where it said end of book, and then I'm going to show you how I count and quickly get to where I'm going. All right, so this says end of volume. So if this is 2 pages, all right, it said I want 276. All right. So if I know that right now, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there's 10 of these thumbnails on this row, and each of those has 2 pages, which you can tell because there's the line down the middle of them. So this is 20 pages. All right. So if I count 20 and I count it enough times to get to 260 or 280, then I know I can just go back a couple of pages and it should have me where I want to be. So here's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220, 240, 260. This would be 280, so this should be 278, 276. But then I'm going to go back another 2 because this one started with the first 2 pages on the previous row. And if you'll notice, I highlighted them for each row. That way I could keep track of which row I was on as I scrolled. So I'm going to open this and see, and this says, does that say 309? So this numbering is definitely way off, which means there's something else going on with these pages. Sometimes in these old books where they scan them, they might scan one page more than once. That just sometimes happens. You have to contend with it. But we're not too far off. I'm going to go ahead and skip back, say, to 26, because that might. All right, 89, 87, 85. We're getting close, y'all. Okay, here we go. 76, 276. So here we should have the right one, and we do. Let me bring it back up to a full page. All right. And give it a second. Sometimes it'll take it to come to the right size. It might be kind of crunched up. So here on this left-hand side, you'll see it's page 276. And then if I look here, I can look, and right away I can see it says Eliel Edwards. Okay. And I see Osborne Clark. So I know this is the deed that I'm looking for. And so this is going to be the one that's going to give me the information. And then what I can do is I can just download it to my computer. You can't see what I'm doing right now because I have only just the window where I'm browsing showing what's in the video. This might not show up, and if not, I apologize. Usually I'll put the year in there. I'll put the book number, the page number, and the year, as well as who it's from and who it's to, last name first. Okay. So that's what is involved in using the catalog on FamilySearch and doing your research. And let's just take a look really quickly at some of the other types of files that you can find in this catalog database. So this is, of course, land conveyances. So I'm going to come back, though, to this main menu of options for Beaufort County. So let's see, probate records. So this would be a place where you can find all different kinds of things. This would be wills, like will books. And this would be, down here is the will records and index. They have multiple versions of this in Beaufort County. They have old wills, and then they have later wills. And you can see here they have the old wills right here. That you have your indices, and then you have your books here. And you're going to just use the same method. You're going to come into an index, and it's going to give you, these indexes are going to be a little bit different. It's just going to have them all listed like this. And there's multiple ones. So just because you don't find an ancestor that you're looking for in one index doesn't mean they're not in another one. And what I mean by that is, again, in Beaufort County, they have multiple different sets of wills and probate records on this website. So you might find different ones depending on where you search. So check all the different available locations. Then, of course, you have the wills and estate papers here. This is going to have this is mostly just a state record. So this is going to be the folders that are going to have all the files, the documents that were filed when someone passed away. More wills and estate records. In other words, there's a lot for you to go through. Guardians, administrators, and executors records, just lots of stuff here. Okay. And court records, you have a lot of options to go through here as well. But I just wanted to show you how you can use these and what an amazing source these are. This is a treasure trove. If you have not gone into these yet, this is an absolute treasure trove. Don't let it overwhelm you. When you go and you look in some of these and you see, oh my goodness, that's like 10,000 pages of microfilm or microfiche. Just do it methodically like you would have back in the day if you went to a library or you went to archives and you had them, pull up a microfilm or microfiche for you. Just be methodical about it. You're going to look in your indexes first, and then you're going to look in the content that it directs you to, and you'll probably be able to find all kinds of things and fill in all kinds of holes. So I hope this video was helpful, and I've been coming up with a lot more ideas to record for videos, so stay tuned, and I will be recording more. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.